Mr President, I seek leave to make a brief explanation before directing a question to the Minister for Health and Wellbeing on COVID communication.
Leave granted. Leave is granted.
Thank you, Mr President. It's come to my attention that through the communication channel of Overheard at Flinders University, there's a variety of messages going round. Yesterday, the Flinders Medical Centre sent an email which stated that a decision had been made from a Salem perspective that all Flinders University students who are currently on placement will need to go to the COVID clinic and undertake a swab and then are to be sent home until further notice. Effective immediately, all Flinders University placements, SMGP and COCE, are cancelled until further notice. If any students present, they will be sent to the COVID clinic for testing and sent home. Apologies are made by the Flinders Medical Centre management for the changing circumstances, but this is their decree. This has caused confusion with a range of other local health networks. I note that there's been posts from those at the QEH and the RA and the Women's and Children's Hospital that their students are still able to attend and indeed complete their placements. However, a Flinders staff member has said, "I'm literally sitting in Flinders Medical Centre right now for an appointment. My student midwife wasn't able to attend, but we were told only Sturt students were not allowed, and my actual obstetrician said she thought they had exemptions for students on pracs if they hadn't been on campus during the relevant dates." However, the practice seems to be that Sturt, Tonsley and Bedford Park students are all being sent for a COVID test and sent home. My question to the Minister for Health and Wellbeing is, if the health sector isn't able to get this right, then how do you expect the community to possibly hope to?
The Minister has the call.
I'd make 2 points in response to that. I'll seek advice from Salem as to the basis for their advice. But every employer has a responsibility to protect the health and safety of their employees, and COVID is no different. The issue with, I suppose, one of the issues with placements, as you were talking about group work, if you're talking about potentially people coming together, that may well be a part of their consideration. The second point I'd make is that one of the characteristics of a pandemic is that it's dynamic, and the Sturt campus situation is a good example of that.
This is Tonsley and Flinders more broadly, not just the Sturt campus.
The Minister's on his feet.
Yeah. I'm actually trying to address the honourable member's question. If she could allow me to draw the link. My understanding is that in the, shall we say, the end of the first week of the Parafield cluster, there was a single case linked to the school on the Flinders campus, and that at that stage, my understanding is that the concern.
Answering the question. Order. Order. Minister.
So there was.
Order. The Minister is answering the question and he will be heard in silence. Minister.
Yeah, obviously the member has little interest in explanation. All I will say is that at the initial stage, in the earlier stages. Well, you're not giving me the chance to answer the question.
Minister. Point of order. The honourable. Order. Now, order on both sides. I'd like to hear the point of order from the Honourable Ms Franks.
The member characterised my interest. I have great interest, so he has mischaracterised my intention.
Well, there's no point of order, but the Minister is going to conclude his response, I'm sure, but I call the Minister to be heard in silence.
I will do it quickly and just make the point. Public health advice developed over time as more cases were identified at the Sturt campus of the Flinders University.